In this week's video, we'll be sharing the one and only secret that you'll ever need to know about digital marketing. You'll learn how to increase your return on investment, how to boost your profits, and how to please your customers. But if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Tony, and I'm the head marketologist at MyMarketology. Every week, we look to bring you the latest and breaking news from the digital marketing world. There are thousands of digital marketing approaches and platforms that you can use in your marketing strategies. Digital marketing is all a means to the same end for every business that's using it, and that should be all businesses. Ultimately, you're looking for a conversion. It could be a sale, it could be a download, a subscription. Whatever it is though, it means that you're going to make money, somehow and at some point. This means that you're going to need to communicate with prospects and customers at various points in the journey to conversion. Digital marketing has taken away the need for cold calling. Most consumers have a bad opinion of the cold phone call. The TPS and call blocking technology, along with the terrible practices of nearly all outbound call centres, have all but killed what used to be the best sales route available. The thing is though, when it comes to conversions, especially for high ticket items, there's probably no better way of getting them than people talking to other people, in the form of a phone call, video call, or even face-to-face sales. Yes, even after all of the malpractice by call centres historically and by unscrupulous phone sales companies, think PPC chasers, phone calls are still one of the best ways to convert your prospects to customers. And this information here is the secret to digital marketing and increasing conversions for your business. You need to focus on speaking to your customers and prospects. Don't hide behind the digital marketing platforms. Now, there is an argument for phone calls. It's hyper-personal. You can adapt to that unique situation. Your contact is getting very personal service. This is even more powerful if the contact has actually called you. There isn't really a much stronger signal of interest in you or your products than somebody actually committing the time and effort to calling you. An email inquiry from them is quicker for them to create and send and shows much less commitment on their part. The next point is that people buy from people, not machines or social media channels. Yes, we're social creatures. No matter how good your digital marketing strategies are and how strong your copywriting skills are, you're going to struggle to compete with a quick thinking salesperson. Prospects are always going to be able to come up with new objections as to why they can't convert there and then. It's just part of the process. Your copy will never be this flexible, as the number of objections that people can come up with are infinite, and your ability to cover those with content isn't. The next point is that salespeople can read the person's tone of voice and immediately change the pitch to overcome objections. This moves on from the last point. Your copy can't read a prospect's frame of mind at that point in time, and it definitely can't read their tone of voice. You can write persuasive copy to your heart's content, but it won't beat this personal contact by any means. A well-trained salesperson can identify certain inflections in tone of voice or pick up on buying signals almost before the prospect realizes that they actually want to convert. Your copywriting can only lead prospects down a journey that you've already set. It can't be flexible at that moment by moment and in real time in the same way that a person can. The next point is that using screen share technology can actually demo your product remotely without the need for salespeople to travel to the customer. This would only be an option for lower ticket items though. If someone is going to spend a lot of money with you, then at least have the courtesy to speak to them face to face. The last point is that people always have the phones with them. As we know, mobile is taking over from desktop and laptop. That doesn't mean that phone calls don't work though. Because prospects and customers always have the phone with them, if you use it in the right way, the phone call can be the most pervasive of approaches. Now, when there's an argument for making phone calls, there's also an argument for actually using digital marketing as well. So the first point here is that it can reach the masses. This is a massive advantage that digital marketing has over phone calls. You can reach your target audience, prospects or customers wherever they are online. Most Facebook users, for example, are logged in permanently. Most people pick up their emails at least once per day, but in most cases several times. They're much more comfortable being contacted that way and marketed or advertised to in that way as well. This takes us on to the next advantage of digital marketing. It's not as disruptive as making a phone call. If you time a phone call wrong, there can be a real invasion into that contact's privacy, and it can be a massive disturbance to the day as well. Your audience chooses to a certain degree when they want to react to your digital marketing and how often they see it. If you're calling them on the phone, they can't. The one exception here is if they're actually calling you. And as we've already discussed, this is a massive signal that your digital marketing is working. The next point is that it's not as time consuming on a per user basis. How many prospects could you realistically call every single day? And how many should you be calling every day? Think about how long it takes to physically pick up the receiver, punch in the contact's number, wait for them to pick the call up if they do actually pick the call up. You've then got to say hello, go through the niceties of the call, go through your script, your pitch, or whatever you need to do on that call. You then need to handle objections, close the conversation, and then write it all up. It's a very long process, and it's only one really for one call, and it assumes that that person has answered there and then. How much longer would it take if you had to keep up with trying and leaving voice messages, which you then need to follow up? Instant messaging, email marketing, and a host of other digital marketing approaches aren't anywhere near as time consuming, and yet you can still get your message across to the contacts and prospects. The next advantage is that there's a massive range of channels and content options that you can use to deliver the information to convert your contacts. A phone call is a phone call. You'll have different approaches, different scripts, but at the end of the day, you've still only got one way that you can actually deliver that information. The diversity of digital marketing platforms gives you an almost infinite amount of ways to get content in a lot of different formats as well in front of your audience. The next point is that it's great for nurturing relationships. Now, phone calls, as we've already mentioned, can be seen as quite intrusive. They're not always the best way to nurture relationships with your contacts. Scheduled account management calls to customers are an exception, but prospects are not likely to want you to call them to build that relationship. Digital marketing gives you the ability to nurture those relationships through any and every channel that you and your prospects are using. And the last one is another big point. You can run digital marketing 24 hours a day without supervision in most cases. Now, this is a massive advantage. You can schedule content publication, emails, social media updates, and the rest for times that are optimized to get you the best results. In reality, you can only make phone calls to contacts when you're both free, and usually only during working hours. Unless you work 24 hours a day, you'll never guarantee that phone calls to your contacts are going to be at the best time for them. Everything that you do should be about them though. So, that is the secret to digital marketing success. Actually connecting the dots between people through one-to-one communication. Nothing will ever beat the good old one-to-one personal conversation for increasing conversions, but there is a time and a place for everything, as I've already discussed. You won't have enough hours in the day to call every single one of your contacts, but you can email them if need be. On the other hand, you can't send unique emails to each and every contact that you might be able to convert each day, even using tools such as segmentation, personalization, and dynamic content. You'll never get it 100% perfect. And at some stage, you're going to need to converse with your customers and prospects away from your digital marketing channels. It's polite, it's personal, and it's very effective when used at the right time. No different to your other marketing channels. So we'll be showing you how to use digital marketing to increase the number of and effectiveness of phone calls in a few weeks' time. Subscribe to our channel now to make sure that you don't miss it. Our contact details are on screen. We're always open to any questions that you might have about anything digital marketing related, or if you want to discuss any current projects that you're working on, or even if you just want to suggest some future topics of our Marketology labs as well. I hope that you've enjoyed this week's lab and that you'll join me again next week for more advice from the world of digital marketing. Thanks a lot for watching again. Bye for now.